Now, a landmark study has discovered that former international rugby players are at much higher risk of developing neurodegenerative diseases such as Parkinson's, motor neuron disease and dementia. Rugby authorities have been told they should look to minimise contact training and reduce the global calendar. The study is the biggest of its kind into former male rugby players. Here are the key findings from the study. Former international rugby players are 15 times more at risk of developing motor neuron disease than people of the same age in the general population. They're also 3 times as likely to develop Parkinson's disease, twice as likely to be diagnosed with dementia. Overall, former rugby players are 267% more likely to develop neurodegenerative disease than the general population.
Genuinely really concerned about what's happening in the modern game and whether, in 20 years' time, if we repeat this study, we may see something which is even more concerning. And I think, rugby has talked a lot and is doing a lot about head injury management and talking about, whether it can reduce impact exposure during the week. I think those conversations have been going on a while and the pace of progress is pretty slow. Looking from the outside in, I think this should be a stimulus to them to really, pick up the heels and start making pretty dramatic changes as quickly as possible to try and reduce risk. Instead of talking about extending seasons and introducing new competitions and global seasons, they should maybe talk about restricting it as much as possible. So cutting back in the amount of rugby we're seeing, getting rid of as much training as possible. Look at what's happening during the week and just say now, contact training during the week, during the competitive season should be viewed as virtually a thing of the past. They should be really getting rid of it as much as possible. I think at the same time, though, they need to look at the number of matches that have been played and ask, is this credible that young men and women can be playing week in, week out for majority of the year just for entertainment? Is there a way that we could trim back on that exposure? I know it's tough to think about there being less rugby rather than more, but maybe less is more. Maybe you get a better quality products. You see better quality rugby. The players are less damaged and fitter rather than depending purely on quantity. So I think rugby has to think about it. You can't continue to put young men and women through what they're being put through. Now we know, even from the amateur era, there's this risk of degenerative brain disease.
Well, in the world of rugby league, former Leeds Rhinos captain Stevie Ward was forced to retire at the age of 27 due to concussions he suffered while playing the sport.
Things do need to change, so we need to feel like we can suspend our emotion and desire to see the biggest hits and people playing after they've been concussed and being okay with people coming out of the line and taking someone's head off. We need to just understand and sit with the understanding that people are getting really ill, whether that's short term or long term, but also understand that we want a game that's physical, we want a game that makes everyone feel amazing and we get so much benefits from it. We need to find that because no one wants the game to go away. No one wants the game to go away.